Good morning in the Americas, good evening in Asia, good afternoon in Europe and Africa. It's exactly 4 p.m. here in Nairobi. Time for Citizen TV Briefs. My name is Jimmy Mbogo. Let's get you informed on some of the stories making headlines across the country. Now, 2.2 million Kenyans will benefit from government support in paying Social Health Authority premiums. President William Ruto says the move is meant to ensure that high-quality health care is accessible to all Kenyans regardless of their financial status. According to the president, who unveiled the program at State House in Nairobi, 558,000 households have already been identified and the government will pay their premiums in full. The government is also working with partners to identify additional beneficiaries. President Ruto has called on other leaders to ensure no one is left behind when it comes to access to healthcare. He further lauded the digitization of the healthcare system, saying that it will play a crucial role in curbing corruption.
Our children, our elderly people, people with disability, to access specialized care, to have and today leave State House when each one of them, and we have made sure we have activated and they have received in their phones a text message that going forward they are members of the Social Health Insurance Fund.
That you can go to any hospital. Sasa tuko na mahospitali 9,000. Hiyo hospitali 9,000, any of those hospitals, you can now go to any of the hospitals with your, today, with your chief membership, and you can access any facility. Social Health Insurance Act of 2023 and the SHA regulations of 2024 mandate the national and county governments to identify and sponsor disadvantaged households.
Chief Justice Emeritus David Maraga now says President William Ruto is bribing Kenyans through empowerment and State House meetings as the education sector crumbles. Speaking on Friday in Kisii, where he attended a graduation ceremony at Carmel Parking Training College, Maraga said that it is unfortunate that university dons are on the streets, but there is money that is being dished out as tokens to a few Kenyans at State House and in empowerment events. He assured Kenyans that he will continue seeking views on challenges that the country faces, saying he has high hopes to unseat President William Ruto in the 2027 presidential contest.
Ladies and gentlemen, I wish to thank...
You have seen members, the Deputy President and other ministers going around distributing money in the form of empowerment. Some of them have even gone to State House that they are going to, and have received money there. What nobody has told you is where this money is coming from. The simple fact is that this is money which has been taken from public coffers and it is being given to the public as though it is donations from the president and his government. This is your money which has been stolen from you, and it is bribery in advance of the 2027 elections.
Now, Kiaru Member of Parliament Dende Nyoro has urged President William Ruto's administration to prioritize basic education funding, which he says is a key pillar of the country's transformation agenda. Speaking at the University of Nairobi, where he graduated with a master's degree in economics, the former National Assembly Budget and Appropriation Committee chairman called for an increase in the capitation allocation for schools as a result of inflationary pressures that have led to an increase in the cost of basic commodities.
The government must be fully committed into funding education in Kenya. The single most thing that can transform an economy is education. And we have seen it across all developed countries. The basis at which they grew was skills, was knowledge, was education. And therefore the funding for our basic education must not be an issue where we debate every now and then. Funding must be coming in good time to our secondary schools, and especially through capitation, and we should continually increase the capitation even as in inflationary pressures push the other consumables in our schools higher in terms of pricing.
And still in Nairobi County, where a section of Nairobi County Assembly members have expressed support for the resignation of Githurai MCA Mwangi Waithera, who stepped down on Wednesday, 2 years before the end of his term. The lawmakers noted that Waithera's frustration of underfunding for development projects are shared by many others. Led by Minority Leader Anthony Kiragu, the MCA has placed blame squarely on the office of the governor, accusing it of failing to equitably allocate resources and stifling ward-level development initiatives.
Jambo la kwanza na la kuhuzunisha ni kwamba kuna barabara ambazo aliahidi watu wa wodi yake, na amesema tukiangalia katika account za Nairobi zimeshalipwa na kazi haikufanyika. Sio Githurai peke yake, inaweza kuwa ni shida iko kila mahali. So kama bunge la county tutaendelea uchunguzi na tutakuwa na ripoti kamili kama kuna shida yote pahali popote. Uhusiano wetu na gavana uko sawa, umekuwa sawa. Lakini saa zingine tunasema uhusiano na kazi ni tofauti. Unaweza kuwa tuna uhusiano mzuri, lakini kama kazi imekuwa ngumu kwako, hiyo sasa urafiki inaendelea, lakini kazi tunasema unaweza tulia kidogo.
Now, stakeholders in the country's cancer care system have maintained the push to have tobacco and nicotine products taxed at least 75% in VAT, citing the adverse impact they have had in compounding the number of Kenyans diagnosed with the disease. Speaking in Nyeri during a National Taxpayers Association roundtable with the Cancer Survivor and Palliative Care Institution, the stakeholders have also called for a total ban on the use of tobacco products in the country over time, arguing that this will greatly reduce the burden on Kenyan households and hospitals. They also want tax collected from the products managed in a fund that will cater for cancer treatment, supplementing packages of the disease treatment under SHA. The Tobacco Control Amendment Bill 2024, which seeks to regulate nicotine products and ban the usage of some, is still lying at the Senate.
It will reduce the consumption of the tobacco. Second of all, it will reduce affordability of the tobacco, which will reduce the cases of the cancer side.
I don't see the need of having that tobacco because it starts the problems start like from when it is being cultivated and even up to when it is being consumed.
Let's pass that bill for our own good. Even if it is not for you, the president, even if it is not for you, the MP, it is for your ordinary mwananchi. Kwani mtachaguliwa na nani tukikufa sote?
It's attributable to about 46% of deaths, yet these tobacco and nicotine products remain to be lowly taxed. Currently in Kenya, total taxes are at 32% of the tobacco and nicotine products, which is very low compared to the 75% of the WHO FCTC recommendation.
Now, fresh data from Financial Sector Deepening FSD Kenya now shows that mobile loans top rejection at 33.7%, followed by mobile money providers at 16.9%. According to Credit Referencing Bureau Metropole, Kenya's credit market continues to face mounting trust deficit, with over 4 million adults, or 14% of the population, being denied loans, even as rising defaults and steep interest rates continue to weigh on lenders and borrowers. Speaking at the opening of the National Credit Market Convention, Metropole Managing Director Sam Omukoko linked high borrowing costs to the twin pressures of elevated interest rates and rising non-performing loans, that is NPLs.
The perception of lenders in the Kenyan market and generally Africa is that the risk premium is still very high in terms of defaults, and therefore interest rates have got to remain high to compensate lenders for the high expected defaults. But unless parties are talking to understand how is the total credit equation looking like, what is the perspective of the regulator, what is the perspective of the lender, and how is the borrower being brought on board.
In the informal sector, cash is still moving. It's not growing as fast, but cash is still moving. So we've actually seen a reduction in non-performing loans within the digital lending ecosystem. And the main reason is we're using data better. We're using the Credit Reference Bureau, and we are using AI algorithms to help us identify and do our credit decisioning.
Now, the Office of the Controller of Budget, Dr. Margaret Nyakango, has clarified that the county government of Homa Bay has been operating 274 bank accounts and not the 558 accounts reported in its initial county government budget implementation review report for the financial year 2024-2025. The clarification is in an apparent response to a letter from the Homa Bay County Finance Executive who sought to set the record straight. In a letter written in response to the Homa Bay County Chief Executive Member for Finance and Economic Planning, Solomon Obiero, the Controller of Budget, regretted the figures which had attributed the extra numbers to the Level 1 health structures in the county which do not operate any bank accounts. The office promised to publish a corrected version of the report in a new edition of the annual report for the financial year 2024-2025 to maintain the integrity and accuracy of the published information. Now to energy matters, where Energy Cabinet Secretary Opiyo Wandayi has reaffirmed the government's commitment to ensuring universal access to affordable electricity through rural electrification programs. Speaking in Kabatini and Amos areas in Bahati constituency in Nakuru County, where he commissioned various projects, Wandayi assured residents that the initiative will go a long way towards giving all Kenyans equal access to power. Bahati constituency Member of Parliament Irene Njoki said they will continue collaborating with the government to ensure that all areas that are not yet connected to the national grid are reached.
Na Bahati, ninataka kukuomba kwa sababu hapa kwetu stima umelete, tumekava 60%, hiyo ingine 40%, waziri tusaidie. Nitakuja ili tuweze kushikana, tuwasiliane, ndio tuhakikishe hapa hawa watoto wetu, hawa wazazi wetu ambao wameongojea stima since independence wameiona na macho katika hii serikali.
Wananchi waungane, watembee pamoja kama ndugu na madada ili nchi isonge mbele. Nchi yote ambayo inahitaji maendeleo au inahitaji kusonga mbele lazima iwe na umoja kwanza wa viongozi, wa pili umoja wa wananchi, na la muhimu ni utulivu na amani.
Now, Deputy President Professor Kithure Kindiki has lauded the government's move to launch the Social Health Authority support for vulnerable families, terming the direction as historic and one which will accord universal healthcare services to Kenyans. Speaking during an engagement with community health promoters and other primary healthcare stakeholders from Meru County at his Irundoni home in Tharaka Nithi County, Kindiki said the government is now shifting focus to ensuring hospitals are well equipped.
Looking at what else we need to do for you as CHPs. Kwa sababu nyinyi ndio mnaenda pale, ndio mna nini huku daktari akipeana prescription. Nyinyi ndio mnaenda kufuatilia ule mgonjwa kama anakunywa dawa zake vile daktari amesema. Hiyo ni kazi, si kazi? Ama namna gani? Kuna mwingine daktari amemwambia wewe usikule this type of food, usikule hii chakula, uwe unakula hii na hii dawa, ukunywe mara 2 kwa siku, mara 3 kwa siku. Mtu wa kufuatilia kila siku religiously every day ni CHPs.
Now to some agriculture matters, where it is all systems go as the Agricultural Society of Kenya readies the 2025 Nairobi International Trade Fair set for later this month at the Jamhuri Park Showground in Nairobi. More than 300 exhibitors, including participants from China, India, Ghana, Tanzania, South Africa, Canada and Nigeria have confirmed attendance at East Africa's premier platform for innovation, agribusiness and youth empowerment. The event spotlights Kenya's excellence while strengthening value chain, linking farmers to markets and creating opportunities for SMEs, startups and corporates.
This year's trade fair is designed to be more impactful, inclusive and future-focused than ever before. Our priority is to elevate the experience for both exhibitors and visitors. To achieve this, we are investing in systems, infrastructure, and people to ensure seamless access, enhance customer service, and robust security.
This year's trade fair will run from 29th of September to the 5th of October under the Promoting Economic Smart Agriculture and Trade Initiative for Sustainable Economic Growth.
All right, and that's all we have for you on Citizen TV Briefs at this hour. More details will be coming your way later on at 7 and at 9 p.m. Thank you for watching. My name is Jimmy Mbogo. Do have a lovely weekend.